Women hate a man that's smart and knows his worth, and she can't manipulate him. If a woman can't manipulate you, you like public enemy number one. They gonna say things like you're gay, you don't get women, you an incel, and they do that because you have to understand the woman isn't the physically superior being in the sense of physicality, so she has to learn to manipulate. So when a man comes around and she can't run her game and act innocent and naive and act like she don't know what's going on, she'll then get frustrated and start showing her true colors because you're cutting off her game. So when you're a smart man, you know your worth and you don't let women play with you, that pisses them the fuck off. I be seeing women in my comments and I'll be saying straight facts using straight logic, and you'll see women in the comments with laughing faces saying, "What? What?" It's like, what do you mean what? That made sense. That's the equivalent to somebody saying one plus one is two. If you got one dog and then you have another dog, you have two dogs. That ain't no what. It's not rocket science. It's just common sense. I made it to where women's supposed to follow a man's lead. Because we live in the times where everything is organized and men can't just attack women and jump on women and shit like that. Women think that they're just superior in a sense. So they act as though they can have a say so. Like here's an example. If women knew that the cops wasn't gonna come if they threw a drink in a man's face, or if other men weren't gonna come to their rescue if they was being disrespectful to a man, they'll stop being disrespectful. They'll keep their mouth shut. So that's what I mean when I say that. If you look at those TV shows when they be in the apocalypse times and it's every man for themselves and people start building up communities, women, if those times is like that right now, women would instantly shut their mouth up and go and find the strongest man who's smart and logical. But because we live in society where she feel like she don't need that man no more, she then hates that man and say, "Oh, I don't like the fact that he's smart because I can't play my game and get over on the weak men who don't know what I'm doing or the game that I'm playing." Women want to have their cake and eat it too. And then they'll say, "Well, men want to have their cake and eat it too." But here's the thing: men can have their cake and eat it too because we live a different existence. Our life is harder than you all's life. A woman's job is literally to sit back, preserve her value, and pick the right male, have kids with him, and let him protect and provide for her for 70 years. That's simple. A man's job is to be the man to be that person, and it requires a lot to be a man who can take care of somebody for that amount of time. So women will say, "Why can't we have our cake and eat it too?" Men want to have their cake and eat it too. Well, here's why: we're the ones that take care of you. You can't force somebody to take care of you. You can't force somebody to marry you. You're gonna be young. You're gonna have all the power that you have right now. You're 18. You're 23. You're 25. You got all the power right now. You can tell men. You can block men. You can tell them you don't like the way that they what they said or how they said this. You can move like a complete bitch like you usually do. But here's the thing: you're gonna get old when you get around 30. So all those men who putting up with your bullshit, they gonna stop putting up with your bullshit because it's gonna be a new girl turning 18. You then are going to get mad and start getting jealous at that girl that's 18, 19, and 20 when you're 31, 32, 33, because your time is over. Your time is over, and you didn't pick no man because you enjoyed all the validation from all of the men. You didn't say, "Let me just pick one." You enjoyed all the validation, and then it just popped up like, "Oh shit, they're not looking at me no more." But here's the difference: all those men that you're ignoring, all those men that you're friend zoning, all those men that you're acting like you're better than, when they get 35 to 40 to 35 to 45, now it's their time. So when they work on themselves and now they got their finances together, they got their body together, their mental together, they done went and made all the mistakes, but they figured things out, and they're in the time where it's in a man's prime. Now they can go and date the 18 to the 30-year-old for the rest of their life. Now men get the pickings. So yes, we get to have our cake and eat it too at a point. You can have your cake and eat it too, but you have a cutoff zone. Your zone is from 18 to around 28. You got about 10 years to figure that shit out. So you can go and be a city girl and play all your games that you usually like to play, and it's cool. But when the lights come on at the club and you don't got nobody to go home with and nobody want to take care of you, you then become a cat and dog lady, you know? That's just how it is. It's not fair for nobody. Men don't like the fact that when we 18, 19, 21, 22, that y'all women be ignoring us and shit. And y'all go and when y'all 18, 19, and 20, y'all gonna pick the man who's 30. We gotta take that shit on the chin. But when we sit back and take it on the chin, build ourselves up, become better men, right the time we get 35, it's our time now. But now that it's our time, don't expect for men to have pity on you and say, oh, I'm gonna be 35 and then choose a woman that's 35. No, that's not how it works. Because when you were 18, you didn't choose a man that was 18. When you were 18, you choose the man that had his shit together who's probably 30, 25, 28. When you had your time, you did the same old thing. But you didn't have to work for shit. You just God gave you titties and ass and a nice face. And all of a sudden you just had the world at your feet. And you took advantage of it. You was basically a celebrity. But the men who sit back and work hard and put that time in to when they get around 35, 45, that 30 to 35 sweet spot, then we get to become the celebrities. But the only difference is we get to be the celebrities forever, for the rest of our life, for the rest of our existence. A lot of men don't get to still become that because they still don't build or work on nothing. But the ones that do, we get to. And them the ones that y'all want. So yes, we get to have our cake and eat it too, but we have to work for it. We have to bake the cake. You just get to show up in the baker's shop and pick whatever cake you want to pick for a good 5 to 7 years. And you acting all entitled. And then one day they say, oh, your membership expired. You can't come back in here no more. Then you start getting bitter and looking at the girls who are freshly getting let inside the baker's shop and getting to pick different types of cake. And now you're mad because your time is up. And that's why when those girls are in that shop, moving stupid, making the same decision, the same bad mistakes that you made, you don't give them good advice because you're jealous. Misery loves company. So when you're miserable, you want them same old girls that's coming up that you could have taught and said, you know what, young girl, I was wrong. No, you're a woman and women are selfish creatures. So you basically saying, shit, if I don't get no man, you ain't getting no man. And you gonna sit back and tell them girls, yeah, don't listen to no man. And the ones that do get the men and the ones that are smart and learn to keep their mouth shut, y'all call them pick-me's. But y'all wish every single day that y'all had a man to take care of you, give you a nice car, give you a nice house, provide and take care of you, take care of your offspring. Not for 18 to 30, but from infant until the day that you die. You see, y'all girls, y'all play the short-term game because y'all brains don't work like men. Men are long-time thinkers. That's why we are able to build things because we can see ahead. We can visualize. Women can't do that. That's why women pick bad men. Y'all pick bad men because the thrill and the fun is right now. You don't say what's going to happen when, I'm 45. You say, shit, I'm 18, I'm 19, I'm 20. I want to be with Tyrone over here. Men are visionaries. So what does that mean? From the day that you're born until the day that you die, if you want to have somebody on the side of you that loves, provides, protects, and cares for you and your offspring, you got to look at the world for a long-term type of existence. Not just a 18 to 30 mindset, but most women only look at the world from when they're hot. You look good from 18 to 30, but what about afterwards? What about when people don't value you for your looks no more and it's about your personality and you know that you're a horrible, shitty person that treats people like shit? That's when women start becoming nice. They become 40, 45, now all of a sudden they want to be nice and sweet and things like that and tell you about how the younger girls be treating men and you shouldn't tolerate that. Bitch, you was the same old girl doing the same shit at 18. And then on top of that, you're not even giving the girl advice on why she shouldn't be that way. Women.